Something strange is happening in real estate. The rules just changed. And in my 10 years of studying and implementing stuff in this game, I've never seen anything like it. So if you've been thinking about buying your first home or investing in real estate, you need to listen carefully, because if you take advantage of this right now, you can build wealth faster than anyone before you, buying your house and investing at the exact same time. Opportunities like this do not come often, and the home buyers that move right now are gonna have a huge advantage. So today I'm gonna break down exactly what this change is, how smart home buyers are using it to get into properties they couldn't have even touched a year ago, and how smart buyers are leveraging a little known loan product to create 6 figures of equity and wealth even before they move in. So here's what's happening. Have you seen those stories about people that are buying duplexes, triplexes, or even quadplexes with an FHA loan? They only put 3.5% down. They live in one unit while they rent out the rest of the units to tenants. That way, the goal is to live in the property while your tenants are paying the mortgage. It's called house hacking, and it's been around for a little while now and definitely got popular over the years. But as it got more popular, so did the competition. And a lot of people are saying that there's no more quadplexes or triplexes or any multi-units available right now on the market. So maybe you thought those deals don't exist anymore, but here's the thing. FHA and other housing agencies just made massive updates, and nobody is talking about them. For the first time ever, you can now use future income of other units in addition to duplexes, triplexes, and quadplexes. This includes basement apartments, studios, live-in units, accessory dwelling units, mother-in-law suites, all units and parts of the house that they were never able to qualify before. You can now use it to qualify for even higher loan amounts and higher pre-approvals. This is giving smart home buyers another $100,000, $200,000 more buying power in markets that may have seemed like they've gotten too expensive. And in addition to getting you more house in a higher price range, you're gonna get help paying this mortgage by renting out even a single family house, portions of it to tenants, to get paid while you live in the home. And here's where it gets even better. If the property needs work, or you even want to add one of these additional living units to an existing single family house, there's now the ability to use these programs to get all the money to do the renovation, wrapping it all into the loan with no extra money out of your pocket. Now you can wrap in closing costs into the loan, as well as one other huge thing. You can now even wrap up to the first 12 months mortgage payments into the loan. Yes, you really could buy a house, not make a payment on it up to 12 months, depending on the size of the renovation, so that you don't have to pay for a property that you can't physically live in while it's being renovated. Let me drive this home again. Pay attention to what I'm saying here. You can buy a fixer-upper single-family home, use the bank's money to add an additional unit and fix it up, make no payments on the property while it's being renovated, and walk into a property with instant equity and cash flow day one when you start living in the house that you've always wanted. Now, this isn't a gimmick. It's called the FHA 203K loan. And as you can tell, I really love this thing. It's how I got started in real estate investing. And it's the exact strategy that I've helped hundreds of other people use that were really frustrated, tired of renting, and ultimately wanted to own a house that was truly gonna be an asset that can pay them dividends in the future. I've personally built millions of dollars in equity just for myself using these low down payment renovation loans. And as of recently, it's just gotten a lot better. Now you might be thinking, if it's so popular, why haven't I heard about it? Or why doesn't my lender talk about it? Or why doesn't my agent talk about it? Well, because realistically, the lenders and agents don't even really know about it. And the ones that do, unfortunately, have no reason to really offer it to you. You see, while it makes you, the buyer, a ton of wealth, and obviously you can get paid to live in the house that you're buying and all these other cool features of the product, it makes you all this money, but doesn't really make any more money for the lender or the agent. It's actually the same. So they really have no incentive to tell anyone about it. In addition to that, the flippers and the other savvy investors out there probably don't want you competing on what has always been really left for them, those fixer-upper as-is properties that typically were only purchasable with cash. But in 2025, the rules have changed, and that window of opportunity is wide open right now for first-time home buyers and repeat buyers alike. Now, the question is, what kind of real estate deals actually work for this strategy, and how do we find properties that will fit this method that smart home buyers are leveraging right now? You see, you don't want to just go out and look for random listings. This doesn't work with just any property. But I've spent years doing this and have helped hundreds of clients do this exact strategy, and I know exactly what works, especially in this market right now. There are specifically 3 categories of deals that are crushing it right now, especially if you're using one of these renovation loans like the 203K or the Fannie Mae Homestyle loan. And before I break those down, I just want to thank my trusted lending partners. The reality is not a lot of lenders, obviously, like I said before, know how to do this. But my lending partners have helped hundreds and hundreds of buyers over the years navigate these types of home programs using renovation loans, calculating rental income the right way on these properties, and structure offers that actually get accepted in this market, all without needing a large down payment. If you're serious about using one of these programs for one of the properties I'm going to show you, they're who I trust. So go ahead and fill out the lender referral form below in the description. You'll get connected with them so that you can take advantage of this opportunity right now and get started with the process while it's still open. Now back to it. The first type of deal is what I call wealth engine properties. These are older homes in decent locations that need mostly cosmetic work. Goldilocks zone properties is another term that I tend to use. They're properties that typically flippers and investors won't go after because they're just not distressed enough. They're in not much trouble and there's not enough of a spread there for them to make any money on it. But they're also not what your retail Harry and Sally homebuyer want to buy that's in a move-in ready condition. These properties usually wouldn't pass an inspection. They have leaky roofs, bad windows, holes in the walls, whatever you can name it, but nothing groundbreaking, not crumbling foundations or the things falling over. But here's the kicker. You can buy this house and fund all the repairs and renovations that need to go into a type of property like this, all using the bank's money with no additional money out of your pocket except that low 3.5% down payment. So when you place your offer, you can tell the seller that you're buying the house in as-is condition. They don't have to worry about making any of the repairs. Your offer is good as all cash. It's a win for them and a win for you, because when the work is done, ideally what that property is going to be worth is a lot more, usually $50,000 to well over $100,000 more in equity just by refreshing it and making the ugliest house on the block the nicest new comp in the area. These types of deals are really powerful because you're not just buying a home, you're buying a project that pays you back in immediate wealth when you take it on. And that wealth is equity and it's freedom for you to take and go buy more real estate. The goal here should always be, and what it always was for me, was re-leverage myself so I could repeat it, do it again, get more cash flowing properties under my belt to supplement my W-2 income that I had for years before I went full-time real estate. The second type of deal that we've been finding that crushes is the flip hacking strategy. This combines the benefits of house hacking, buying a multi-unit property like a duplex, triplex, or quadplex, living in one unit and renting out the other units, and flipping and renovating and rehabbing that multifamily property, because we're focusing only on multifamily houses that need work and need a lot of repairs. This is personally how I bought my first ever property. I bought a 2-family that was literally a crack house. The place was disgusting, to be honest. The place had squatters in it, and the squatters were using like everywhere else in the house as a bathroom except the toilet. The place was a dump. No pun intended. However, it was the only thing that I could afford in my insanely expensive and competitive New York, Long Island market. And because I used a 203K loan to buy it, I fortunately was able to get all the money to renovate it from the bank in order to make it less crack housey and more to be the nicest house on the block. I did all of this still while keeping my out-of-pocket costs low. I only put about $10,000 down total on that first property. But the good news is when the work was done, it was worth significantly more than what I had put into it. I had bought the property for $270,000. I put $80,000 about into it. I was all in for about $350,000, $360,000. And when I was done and got it reappraised, it was worth over $500,000. Now, the good news is I was also living in one unit and renting out the other unit to a tenant. So while I lived there, I was basically paying a small mortgage payment every month, a couple $100 a month, because my tenant was covering most of the mortgage. Then I had planned to move out, which I did, and rent out both units, and I still have that property and it cash flows me $2,000 a month to this day. This is what I call the sweet spot, or the 203K way strategy. You get not only the equity from doing the renovation, but the extra cash flow from doing it as well. I use the bank's money also to make each unit an additional bedroom. That additional bedroom in each unit netted me another $600 to $700 per month total from that property, because 3 bedrooms rented a lot more than 2 bedrooms in my market. So rather than overpaying for a move-in ready multifamily property and have it barely even cash flow, even when you do move out, you get to build that immediate equity using the bank's money in exchange for a low down payment, and also get the chance to cash flow higher because you're buying units that need work, you're increasing their value, increasing what you're able to rent them for, and get paid a lot to live in the house that you are getting covered by your tenants. But most importantly, it does one very special thing. It sets you up with enough equity and ideally more cash flow so that you can go and repeat the process, do it again, and buy more real estate. Doing this strategy allowed me to go buy my next property 6 months later. It's one of the only wealth building strategies in real estate that allows you to live somewhere, build equity, and get paid to live in it. But all that being said, this still isn't what I would say the most effective strategy to use right now in this current market. You see, with the new guideline changes, we've actually found an even better property type that has been a cheat code for the smart home buyers we've worked with in the last 12 months. The third property type, or what I'm seeing my buyers buy and benefit the most from right now, are called my hidden duplexes. These are 2 or even 3 unit properties disguised as single family homes, and they're actually hidden in plain sight. You just need to know where to look. Now, here's why nobody knows about this. As of a few months ago, FHA quietly released a new guideline that allows you to look at ADU or accessory dwelling units or additional income producing potential units in your house as a way to qualify for more income. Ultimately, that means you can qualify for way more house than before. Previously, you could only use your income from other units if it was a legal 2-family, 3-family, or 4-plex. But now you can forecast the future income of accessory units as well. These could be anything from a mother-in-law suite to a converted garage unit, or even here in New York, like a basement apartment. The biggest challenge I've seen with people that want to house hack and do this strategy is they always come to me and say, there's not enough quadplexes in my market. There's not enough multi-unit, multi-family properties in the places that I'm looking to buy. Depending on where you're looking, you might find very few, if not none, in most parts of the country. And that makes sense because duplexes, triplexes, and quadplexes actually make up less than 1% of the residential housing market in the United States. But now, when it comes to single family residences and inventory, there is virtually limitless opportunity out there. That's 99% more inventory. The other 99% of residential housing is mostly single family homes. So effectively, with these new guidelines, almost all of those properties are eligible to be converted into some type of accessory unit structure that you can produce income from. Now, obviously, it goes by your local guidelines, but what we've been seeing recently is local zoning is allowing it more and more. And to be fair, regardless of whether your local guidelines allow it or not, the federal guidelines state that if it's common and customary in your market, it's okay, and we're still gonna qualify it. So now, a lot of single family properties are basically operating like a legal 2-family. But what I like to do is focus on properties that are already set up to immediately take advantage of this. These are what I call my hidden duplexes, and here's how we like to find them. When you go to search on Zillow or your local MLS, put in keywords like this: split level, mother-daughter, high ranch, basement egress, accessory unit, apartment, detached garage, and there's a couple others. I actually have a full list of my 12 secret keywords that we found work the best on places like Zillow and Redfin, so you can go find these properties that are sitting in your market available right now. There's a link in the description on how to get it, and with that will be a video giving you a deeper explanation of what to look for and what I feel like would qualify for it versus not. Now let's talk about how these buyers are getting rich from buying their first or even next home. Because here's what's wild. Unlike our parents or previous generations to us, we don't have to wait 30 years to get the benefits of appreciation and equity like they did. I've seen buyers with less than $20,000 in savings make 6-figure paydays in equity and wealth and use that to go buy more real estate all within their first year of doing this. And no, I'm not just saying it. I've done it myself multiple times. My first deal I bought built me an immediate $150,000 of equity as soon as I was done with the renovation. And that was all before I even moved into the place. But here's the key that you need to understand to take advantage of it versus other buyers that have no clue. You need to stop thinking like a traditional buyer. This is not HGTV. You're not shopping for the perfect move-in ready home. You're building wealth. You're learning a blueprint that can be repeated over and over again. Because I'll be honest, once you do your first deal, you will now have the equity, the cash flow, and most importantly, the confidence to go do it again. Anyone that I've ever known that has invested in real estate never stopped at one. The power in real estate is letting it appreciate and going to buy more and having multiple properties that compound over 5, 10, 20, 30 years. This is how people quit their 9-to-5 jobs without winning the lottery. This is how you go from renting to home ownership in this crazy market in 2025. This is how you go from being frustrated and renting to owning something and using that to go build more wealth, all with low out of pocket. This is how you unlock the American dream on your terms. And for some of you, if you're thinking, I'm not ready yet, let me tell you something I wish someone told me years ago. Nobody feels ready the first time. I thought that I was gonna study my way into real estate investing and be 100% ready to jump into the game. And that couldn't have been further from the truth. You're never gonna have all the answers. It'll never be the perfect timing. You'll doubt yourself, you'll overthink the living hell out of it, and you'll watch and continue to watch people that'll close on deals that should have been yours. But for the people who actually win in this market, and how I actually finally broke the analysis paralysis and got started, the people that win take action. They get pre-approved. They run numbers and they relentlessly place offers on these types of properties that are perfect to make a boatload of wealth right now. So here's my challenge for you. Make this the year you stop sitting on the sidelines. Reach out, get connected with a lender that understands these loans and renovation products, and just figure out what your buying power is today. It very well might be way more than you think. Trust me on this one. And even if you're not concerned where your pre-approval is, or you've been pre-approved before for an amount that you feel like is enough for your market, now's the time to make sure that you are squeezing every dollar out of what you put into this property and you get back 10x what you put in. It's not just about affordability, it's about profitability. Your own home could be your biggest asset or your biggest liability. I found a way to make it my biggest asset and quite honestly one of the best real estate investments I've done time after time, in addition to the flips and the rentals that I've done on the side. Now, if you're still confused and don't know where to start, leave a comment below. I will personally answer each one and give you the trajectory or where I think your next best course of action is. Tell me where you're stuck. I'm gonna do my best to help and in the very least give you the best direction I can point you in. Because what I can say is this window will not remain open forever. Every month you wait, another opportunity passes you by and someone else gets the dream home that you wish and deserved that you had. My only regret in real estate was not starting and taking action sooner. I thought I needed to know all the pieces of the puzzle to start, and I couldn't have been further from the truth. The reality is you're gonna learn the pieces as you go, but it starts today with just doing the first step. So now's the time for you to take your piece of the pie. I'm Matt Porcaro, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Please go ahead and subscribe if you've liked this. I make a lot of videos about how home buyers can leverage this and make themselves rich on their own home rather than it be the biggest cost on their asset sheet month after month. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one.